look. Yeah. Who's...
Hey.
Is it on? Oh, hi.
Everyone, hi. Mike's working.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
It's very exciting. And slightly terrifying.
Yeah. So, you go.
Yeah, so hello, Comic-Con. Thank you so much for joining the Transformers Cyberworld panel. I'm Tyhan Mustafa. I'm part of the Hasbro Entertainment production team, and I have the total pleasure of moderating our conversation today with some of the amazing creative team and cast behind the series. Sadly, Kyle, who voices Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, couldn't be here today. But we have a powerhouse lineup who are going to share stories from writing to voicing and building this world from the ground up. So to kick off, I'm going to ask everyone to introduce themselves and their role on Cyberworld. And for the voice actors, could we please get an in-character line from one of your bots? James, I don't know if you want to start over there.
Hello, everyone. I'm James Alexander. All the characters or just one?
I think one will do for now.
I am the voice of Megatron, who, as you may know, sounds like this. Only the strong survive. There you go.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, lovely to meet you all. Thanks for being here.
Hi, I'm Joe Lewis. I'm the voice director, so I'm not going to give you any sound. I might give you a note. Could you all just sit more straight for me, please? No. And I work with these guys very closely.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Carroll and I voice Elita 1 in Transformers Cyberworld. I mean, to be honest, the one I say the most is probably me!
Hi, my name's Jack Ayres and I voice Scorponok, Skybite and Mirage. I think I'm going to go for Skybite, Elisa's #1 enemy. Okay, I'm going to have to put the mic a bit further away because this is going to be loud. If I knew you were bringing friends, Elita, I'd have saved room for dessert!
Nice.
Hello, my name is Shogami Akita. I voice Starscream. I need to hold the mic very far away from my face.
Surrender yourselves to Emperor Starscream!
Hi everybody, my name's Ali. I am the head writer and I guess creator of the show, is that fair to say? I created the show, so I'm all of the Autobots and Decepticons.
Hello, I'm Ryan. I'm one of the writers, so I don't have a voice. Just the sound of a keyboard clacking is my voice.
Love that. Thank you so much, everyone. So yeah, Cyberworld is a 36-episode CG animated series. We see our Transformers bots sent to the perilous and uncharted regions of Cyberworld. They're stranded, and they have to confront a series of treacherous game-like programs that test their strength, strategy, and alliances. Okay, let's get into it. So this show, it feels like a pretty fresh take on Transformers. Tonally, visually, structurally. Ali, why don't you set the scene for us here? What feels new and different about Cyberworld in the Transformers multiverse?
I mean, there's a lot new about Cyberworld. Firstly, the setting. We're on Cyberworld, which is a brand new location with a mysterious intent. It's separated into various regions with all sort of different kind of environmental biomes, and all of the Transformers bots that we know are sort of flung into this world, don't really know what's going on, they have to kind of adapt and find their way. And so, yeah, we've got like different kinds of alt modes for them, different sort of interpretations of the character that are still kind of true to their G1 counterparts. But it's fresh and interesting. And, there's also a gamified aspect to it as well. There's a lot of sort of video game inspired elements. And it's for Transformers fans of old and new Transformers fans as well, coming into the show, kind of getting introduced to these characters for the first time.
Thank you. And you know, one thing about the show is that kind of action meets humor a lot of the time, right? And I feel like some of those scenes that are gamified have both of those qualities to those scenes. I mean, do you want to speak a little bit to the show's tone in that way?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have sort of responded to it and said it's very silly, which I think is very apt. Really like to be kind of playful with it and kind of embracing the strange new things that are happening. And of course, Optimus, I sort of decided that we would have a younger Optimus in this interpretation so that he is able to have a slightly more playful kind of nature to him, a little bit goofy, a little bit silly, and also just have some flaws and such that we can kind of explore across the show.
For sure. Well, we'll get into characters. I mean, thank you, Ali. So, and I mean, you might have noticed a big thing about this show is how toy-centric it is, right? I mean, every conversion, every power-up, it's fully intended to be recreatable at home. I mean, guys, voice actors, how does it feel to voice toys that people can own and you can own and, you know, entire character personas? How does it feel?
I mean, it's very cool, isn't it? I mean, we've got like a bit of a group chat that we were all sharing pictures, you know, when we find them in the shops and stuff, it's a real kind of, you know, it's an amazing moment. Especially, you know, like some of these like play sets and stuff are really, really cool. And yeah, I can't speak for all of you, but it seemed like we all kind of had a great time trying to track those down and like finding them in different shops. It was really cool.
There's a lot of like legacy behind these toys as well. I think it's just like, you know, okay, so these incarnations are very much kind of like ours. We have a lot of ownership of them, but at the same time, you just kind of, I'm looking at Starscream and I'm just thinking about all of the people who have voiced this character throughout time, and all of the, you know, all of these people I took inspiration from. So it's a weirdly moving experience as well, even though it's a toy.
Yeah, the toys have gravitas, right?
Yeah, like, I think it's something I'll never really get used to. Like, I have them on a shelf at home. I bought 2 of each, one for display and one for my daughter to destroy. But it's the strangest thing. Like you said, Sugar, there's that kind of being part of the legacy, which, you know, is obviously far beyond Cyberworld. You know, it's been going for years, so it's very weird, very humbling, and just feel very incredibly grateful to be doing it.
I think my favourite moment was someone posted on X that they'd been playing with their Elita toy in the bath, and she floats. So that made me really happy. She does float in boat mode.
The boat mode works. That's great. Thanks, team. Okay, so let's move on to some of these characters in particular. So I think one thing that has stood out to fans is the way that Cyberworld is playing with alliances a little bit. So Autobots and Decepticons, blurring that divide just a little. I think it's given the show this layer of depth and heart. Ali, how can you, can you tell us about how you and the team decided on these character personalities? You know, how much was legacy, and how much did you want to stretch and explore?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of legacy stuff in there. I looked at a lot of the kind of G1 interpretations, obviously the classics for inspiration, kind of pulled stuff from the comics, stuff from, you know, the other animated series, some of the Bayverse stuff as well, just trying to find the sort of core essence of these characters, and then sort of applying them to certain like archetypes and stuff that we wanted to explore in the show, so like bring out the best in all of these characters, help them find a space in this world that we're creating. Yeah, I don't know, Brian, have you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like so much of the show is built on the legacy of Transformers and everyone's ideas of what those are. So that for us as writers means we get to play with that. So and it means we get to ask questions like, on Cyberworld, what is Megatron like when he's not leading an army? What is Starscream like when he's not under Megatron's heel?
Just chilling.
Yeah, yeah, he's just a chill guy. I think it's in episode 2 when Megatron's like, he literally just says here, there are no Autobots, no Decepticons, we're all just survivors. And factions form, and we can play with people's preconceived dynamics of what those factions are going to look like, how they're going to shape up. and hint to things that maybe we'll see another time. Ooh.
Joe, I want to come over to you for a second. I want to hear about how you and the team got into your rhythm when it came to establishing these personalities and these voices. You know, you're a fan of the sort of Transformers. How did that look for you guys?
Yeah, that's true. I'm a massive fan of Transformers, I can't lie, it's my jam. I work on a lot of shows, but this one is important to me. I think dialing in the voices is the hardest thing we do. It's probably the longest thing we do. It probably takes up almost half a session when we start with a new character. I think also because we kind of, as Ali was saying, is like, if you think about Bumblebee and Optimus Prime in particular, they're younger, and Optimus is flawed, and finding that way to kind of keep the genuine Optimus kind of character, and then communicate this, like the small childlike qualities, but maintain its integrity has been a real balancing act. Some of it's just been insanely fun. So like Chop Shop and in particular, I mean Chop Shop, it's vile to work on. Like just the amount of mouth sounds you get.
You want me to do it?
I'm not a big fan yet, sorry.
Please.
Want me to do it for you?
Yeah, go and do it. Just
Special rock!
And then you got Skybite, who is also pretty tricky. Other ones.
We're doing that as well, are we? Yeah.
Other ones have been fine. Like so, obviously Jess is also the NPC narrator. So, but I worked with Jess for years on voiceover anyway. So that one just came out. That was pretty easy. We just said Jess, act like a kind of neutral robot. She does it every day. It's just fine. So so it really depends. But in general, it's just finding that balancing act and trying to remain true to the characters as they were in G1 as I know them. I know in some circumstances we've gone elsewhere. I think like Megatron is quite different to the usual Megatron thing. But for me, when I see Mega Bull, that is kind of what I wanted to hear. And it took us a long time to get to that point. That was a really hard one.
It was, yeah, because we kept going into a very aggressive kind of area with him, and then we kind of decided on that whole smooth talker vibe where rather than, he's got that obviously aggressive side to him, which you see in episode 7 when they climb up the game. But yeah, we ultimately land on this kind of like silver-tongued devil who can kind of, you know, convince you not only just through being physically strong, but also, you know, with a few fancy words. So yeah, but we got there.
Yeah, we did.
It wasn't too hard.
I mean, guys, several of you voice multiple characters, right? How on earth do you do it, especially with characters like Chop Shop? Have you got a method?
Well, because I voice Megatron, Chop Shop, Grimlock, Snarl, Junkyard Ron. Don't want to spoil it for anyone. But yeah, it's originally, because it's also usually, because they're all most of them are deep voiced. So like Grimlock is here, Megatron's down here, and Snarl's more around here. And sometimes when it gets like loud and aggressive, your voice tends to go in one way, so it's making sure that you keep those little vocal ticks that belong to the character in it. But Chop Shop's easy, you can just go, ah! So, you know, there's no problem there.
I think it's really interesting. Sometimes you're right. Like when you're working with voice actors, you realize how stunningly talented they are. It is insane what they do. I mean, you know, we're all like me and Ali are sometimes just sat there just laughing. I mean, we use like as a litmus test in sessions, like if we quite often get the line 3 times on the bounce, the one that makes us laugh is the one we're going to select every time. But there are other things you got to think about. It's like, so Jack does Wheeljack and Mirage. That was hard for us because they kind of sit in the same register, and getting that difference was, you know, it was challenging to differentiate them, but then they're very, in a way, they're quite similar.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing to consider as well is, you know, you can audition with a voice for like a couple of lines or whatever, and you've got to make sure that you can also keep that up over multiple hours of recording as well, because, you know, like it's all well and good being able to scream your lungs out for like 2 or 3 lines, but some of these sessions with, you know, where your character's in it more, you got to do a lot of different takes of those lines, so you've got to be careful not to shred your voice too. Yeah, Scorponok especially is yeah quite taxing. I'm always like, Joe, can we please leave that to the very end?
He gets really grumpy. I'm not gonna lie to anyone. He's like,
Yeah.
like we just get Jack's getting grumpy now.
It's part of the territory with Scorponok as well. I feel like you've got to go into that place.
I mean, he can Tibetan throat sing. We found out from doing Scorponok. He can hit the the harmonic in his voice.
Yeah, I'm not sure how an expert would feel about me claiming that as a skill, but yeah, I mean, it was something. It was something.
Do it.
No, don't.
No. Well, yeah, look, you're all doing an amazing job of these voices and bringing these characters to life. I mean, Ali and Ryan, these established voices, did they impact your writing, you know, going forward with scripts and stuff? Were you inspired by the characters that these amazing people have brought out?
Yeah, to a degree. Like, you know, I had sort of these preconceived notions, and like, you know, I kind of briefed the guys on the voices that I kind of wanted from them. But at the same time, like the stuff that they do, like the way that they deliver the lines and they bring the characters to life, definitely then feeds back onto the way that we write them. Yeah, it's a very interesting push and pull on certain things. I don't know if you have any insights on that as well.
I guess like it's sort of what I said a minute ago, where it's like, because these are slightly different versions of everyone than we've seen before,
That gives us a lot of room to play with their voice. So like in the example of Optimus, he has all the makings of what we know to be like the Peter Cullen Optimus eventually, but he's not quite there yet in his journey. But that means we can lean into that side of his voice and then undermine it and be like, oh no, this is actually this Optimus.
It's funny you say that, because that's probably one of the things that we argue about the most. I mean, Ali and I argue quite a lot in sessions. It's all good natured, but we have. If I call one take, he's inevitably going to call the other. I mean, these guys will attest to it. It's like
Every time.
But is like, because I'm coming from G1 Optimus, and I understand what, you know, you've got this younger character and he's evolving, but then sometimes I'm just like, he wouldn't say that, and then I kind of put it into context and I'm like, yeah, he would, I get it. And there was a recent episode we worked on where it's exactly like that, where it's so silly and it's hilarious. I mean, the whole session I was like crying with laughter, but I was like thinking, I had to get my head around this kind of younger version of that character. It's hard.
I think Grimlock as well is also a good example in terms of how his voice comes out now compared to G1, where it's like it's got the same bones, fossil pun intended, as like G1 Grimlock, in that he's not the most articulate, but he is sort of more intelligent, and he just has a different speaking pattern that's like spiritual successor, and also lends itself to different kinds of jokes.
Yeah, Grimlock, that was an interesting one. I must have, when we did Megatron, I was quite conflicted about taking it in that direction because it was so different. But then I love it. I love that voice. Well done.
Thank you.
But Grimlock, I've heard in lots of different iterations. You know, so I felt like it was okay that we just did it that way. You know, like it was quite cool to go down that route. And also, to be fair, you guys gave us a really specific brief to follow on that one. We kind of knew what we had to do.
Yeah, he was obviously previous Grimlocks, he was like caveman, isn't he? He's like, me do this, but we went down the Nordic Viking kind of vibe, so the language barriers, just because he's technically speaking a different language he's not used to.
No, there's another Transformers series. It's not the more, is it? It's the one that Bumblebee stuck. I can't remember which one it is. Do you guys?
Cyberworld?
It's one where but there's a Grimlock who's green. No, it's like, it's a kind of younger, Robots, it is Robots in Disguise. He has a very different accent in that one as well. Like he's not, so, but yeah. Sorry, thanks. That's Team Hasbro over there helping. Thanks, Team Hasbro.
Great. Okay, so I want to take a moment and talk about the world building then. You touched on it for a second, Ali. This is not Cybertron, nor is it Earth. It's this game-like, ever-shifting space. What is this place? And can you take us through some of its rules and guiding features?
Yeah, just read the show Bible. Part of the show, part of the sort of conceit is this mystery around what Cyberworld is, and why they're there, and how did they get there. which is what we will explore. But what I can say is that it's obviously it's got these sort of sectored sort of areas. It's very kind of Fortnite or Bionicle, these kind of different sort of zones, and then they have to play games against each other essentially to earn energon. These programs that spawn around the planet that they have to kind of enter and compete against each other and win or lose energon. There's like power-ups that they can get to sort of help them or hinder them sometimes in certain cases. It's very gamified. It's a very sort of video game sort of inspired world.
I mean, a world with its own omnipotent NPC narrator
Yes.
is going to have some kind of lore, we promise you.
Yeah, it's all up here.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta do the voice.
Do it.
NPC.
What to say? What do I say as the NPC other than 3, 2, 1?
Roll change.
Winner,
Program
Elita 1.
activated.
Program activated. Winner, Elita 1. Because she is
Nice.
going to win everything. I'd love it if the NPC was overseeing all of this, and it's all her grand plan.
Yeah.
Watch this space. No,
Spoilers,
if I
spoilers,
have,
spoilers.
I'm
Cut the mics,
because
cut the
I
mics.
don't know anything.
This is not spoilers, it's
No
just
spoiler.
theory.
Genuinely,
Theory.
every time we post at the weekend when the episodes come out, we genuinely have, obviously we read the scripts because we did the job, but I never know what's going to happen, and genuinely, my reactions are genuine. So, who knows? Maybe that is going to happen.
I think the other thing, kind of going back to the way the world works, is obviously this is quite an episodic show. It's like this is the episode where they do this. However, like from the very first Writers' Summit, we have been so like mapped out way more than we'll ever need in terms of everything. Like you came with so many ideas, and then we were all just like, yes, and also all of this as well. So there is a deep, expansive lore that will gradually be revealed. There is a game plan basically, as well as just the world is set up that way. It's set up that way for a very particular reason.
You know so much. We know so little.
Couldn't possibly say.
Ryan has actually complained that my writer's briefs are anything but.
You guys have also slipped in plenty of Easter eggs, right? I think that's fair to say. Are there any you can safely tease for us without getting us all in trouble?
Oh, I mean, I could definitely speak to some of them that have happened. In episode 6, the introduction of Starscream, he's wearing his crown from the movie. Gosh, what else?
The dates.
The dates, yes. All of the program module numbers tend to be dates. The first one that we hear in Ryan's episode 2, is the premiere date of the first episode of G1. And then like all of them, pay attention to them, because all of them kind of either they have some reference to Transformers lore or to the games that they're playing as well sometimes as well. Yeah, and then just like, every time there's like a prop or something that needs to be made, we're like, what could we make here that already exists that could be like a little like hint to something that, other people will recognize from the show. Yeah, I don't know if you can remember any others.
I don't know. There was the one you texted me the other day, being like, "Did you write Skybound into this purpose as a reference to the comics?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're still finding the stuff like buried deep in the worlds." So that was nice. Yeah, I think it's what you said. Is every time we're doing a thing, we're trying to go, "What's a thing from the lore we can extract?" And there is, I won't say what it is, but there is one very important machine device that I remember pulling up an image of. I'm not going to say what it is, but we were so happy with it.
Oh yeah.
When we found it. We were like, we absolutely have to do so much more with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything.
Honestly, the more I go through it, the more I realize there's nothing new under the sun. Like everything can just be like, oh yeah, we can just tie that to an existing Transformers thing. Which is really fun. Like it's just great, just finding all of these ways to kind of pay homage to the legacy that's come before. Yeah, it's really great.
Thanks, guys. So, Transformers has such a passionate fan base, right? And what I want to know what it is like for you guys, seeing reactions, memes, fan art, you know, beautiful fan art. What does that feel like?
It's unbelievable. The Transformers family out there, you're all amazing. The fan art is unreal. The talent out there is bonkers. It's extraordinary. There is a lot of pressure, I think. I certainly felt quite terrified. I know all the guys on the WhatsApp group had to deal with me on the day of my first episode, panicking immensely. What if I let everyone down? What if you hate my Alita? What if it's terrible? Thankfully, everyone's been very lovely. But it's incredible. It's amazing to have that connection. And yeah, keep the fan art coming, because we see all of it and we love it.
Shogo's embarrassed about his fan art. The content is...
Very colourful.
I've seen so much.
Yeah.
Colourful fan art.
That's all I'll say.
I say embarrassed. He loves it, but it's not something we can talk about right now.
It is incredible how quickly people create stuff as well, though. You know, like say the episode will be out for an hour and someone's created an edit to Hot to Go or something. Yeah. You know, like it's incredible the sort of the creativity that people take with those characters and do their own thing and tell their own story with like an edit and cutting together clips and stuff. It's really cool.
Minutes after the episode goes live as well, people are just like doing it. It's just, oh, it's crazy. On TikTok, it's just all of the edits and everything. It's wild.
Also, it's been quite fun since the release of the first few episodes that now when we're in studio, we kind of see things differently, don't we? We see the sort of little hints. We think, oh, the fans are going to like that bit. They're going to enjoy it. Someone's going to see that reference.
We can't say anything about that, right?
No. But there might be a hashtag that they like because of it, you know? I love it.
We started our own... No, it doesn't matter. Nah.
Talking about something.
Well, carry on. But yeah, no, it is fantastic. It's just... once again, I say it's surreal because obviously jumping into the shoes of like Welker and all the other variations of Megatron before and then the other characters, it's really nice that people are open to something a bit different because change can be very scary, we understand that, but Transformers is a franchise that is very much changing and does reinvent itself to a point with every new show it does or film, so it's just nice to be accepted because I think that all of us, before it even started coming out, we were like, I hope no one hates us.
Yeah. I was terrified.
Yeah, like the night before I was like, and Megatron appeared, I was like, and I was like, so yeah.
It's genuinely so heartening. Like I don't know if anybody here has like made some fan art or said some wonderful stuff about the show, but it's truly so heartening. Like this thing that we've created, just like see the response and like so like it genuinely I say this a lot. It genuinely surprises me so much, like how positive the response is and how much people really love this show. It just it genuinely like it really like I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thank you everyone, and yeah, echoed. It is just amazing to have your support. Thank you. So, I mean, Transformers Cyberworld is kids coded too, right? I would love to hear from you guys what you hope young or new fans to Transformers can take away from this show, and bring them into the TF fandom.
That women can be badass too.
Hell yeah.
No, not
That's
my
it.
Legit, it's pretty amazing. My brother was a huge Transformers fan, so I grew up with the cartoon, and obviously, you know, there's people in it, but like, I never really felt as connected as I have in the last few years with the more, like, seeing more and more of the, there's been a push, there's been a nice push, but I think, you know, Alita's awesome. She understands it all, she gets it. And so often she doesn't get listened to, but when she does, but no, I hope lots of young people out there just get involved with it really and see that you can do anything.
I think what's really nice is that some a kid out there watching it will have our characters as their first rendition of Megatron as Grimlock, as Skybite, Vita, Starscream, and I think that's really. And again, we may never even know the effect it'll have, but it's nice that maybe someone's watching it going, oh, I love the character, and then they see the toys available and they've got it. It's just, again, goes back to the whole being absolutely surreal, situation to be in.
And the fact that, the episodes are airing online as well on YouTube, like how it's literally anyone with an internet connection can watch this series, and that makes it accessible in a way that like a lot of shows haven't been in the past, which is is really cool. Like my nephew watches it, and it's really cool to see a whole new generation find these characters through this series.
Yeah, it's instantly accessible to everyone internationally as well, which is kind of like a new thing for shows in general, especially for like Transformers. Like I grew up watching like Armada, Energon, Cybertron. Those were my shows, and I was so interested when I was a kid in all the other lore, but none of it was on TV in a way that was accessible to me. So I would sit and read the Wikipedia pages. Kids don't have to do that now.
Yeah.
It's all just there at your fingertips. It's incredible.
I want to shout out to the voice cast of the international.
Oh yeah, the localized version.
Like, Spanish Megatron is a beast.
They're so good. They're so talented. Yeah. I mean, these guys are amazing as well, obviously. But yeah, the other territories and their localizations are, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal work all around.
How about any tips and tricks from you guys going into this as voice actors, director, writers, anything you would say to any young and budding creatives?
Well, I mean, I think you give it a go. I think like if you're from voice acting, I think you just try it, and if you like it, you'll stick with it. And if you don't, you won't. I know it sounds like a silly thing to say. I think that it's one of those things where if you're able to, I mean, what blows my mind with voice acting is how, it sounds like a cliche, but how vulnerable people make themselves. When, like, if you're like we were talking earlier about dialing in that voice, you're basically asking someone to act crazy. Right? And you're just listening to them go crazy. You go, no, more like that. Put more gravel in it. No, now you're too evil. And they've got to interpret this really vague language. And if you feel like you can do that, and you can like work with a guy like me I can be quite direct, because we don't have time. Like, because that's another thing. If you can take the pressure, it's like to get through these episodes. Like, it's not always. Time is precious. The thing is, in any media or creative enterprise, there's never enough time. There's two things: you never have enough time and money. And quite frankly, it's like if you're willing to be pushed that hard and still enjoy it and get along with the people that you're working with, and it does take a thick skin, doesn't it, Jess? She just told me I made her cry for you.
He did make me cry 4 years ago, and it does take a thick skin. No, Joe's just very direct. I think what you said, as a director, it works. You do have to take risks. You do have to be very vulnerable. The second the parrot on your shoulder starts telling you, what on earth are you doing? You sound ridiculous. That's game over. You just have to be silly and give it a go and not panic. I got told when I first decided I wanted to be an actor, an older actor who was my godfather told me, I'm going to tell you 10 times not to do this. And if you still want to do it after everybody telling you not to do it, then you're in the right industry, because you will face rejection every single day. And yeah, you do have to have a thick skin for that. But just give it a go. We live in a world of great technology these days where anyone can give it a go. Get a cheap mic, give it a go.
Yeah, because like every job you book, there's 20 failures behind the scenes that you haven't seen for each job that you book. But at the same time, I don't think would any of us here thought that we'd be able to voice in a Transformers thing? And
yes.
You already, that was always the plan, was it? Okay, so you can retire now. You've done it. You've done it all. All right. Okay, we'll let you get off in a second then, because I know how busy you are. But you just never know until you try something, and really cool things can come from taking those risks.
Yeah, I think one of the things is I've worked in lots of different aspects of the media. I worked a lot in the beginning stages of the casting. We tend to give the writing team and the production team as a small selection of what we think are the best candidates that we've got from our agency. If you get rejected from a job, it's not personal and it isn't because you're rubbish. The lines can be so thin, and I think that a lot of people don't commit in creativity because of fear of failure, and you just have to ditch that. You haven't failed if you don't get the job. It's just such a grey, subjective area, and like we again, massive conversations happen behind this that you never really, you can't put your finger on when you end up casting someone. It's just like this. It's so fine.
I mean, people sometimes say that like auditioning is the job.
Yeah.
I don't know if I fully agree with that, but it's a huge part of it. I mean, it's just like sometimes you just have to be churning out like, you know, dozens and dozens a day just to book something, because the hit rate can be so low. And I don't want to get too sort of in the weeds with it, but like the importance is that to not lose sight of the importance of play. When you're doing this very, very silly job sometimes, you know. And like, you know, it's really easy with a show like this because it's about robots fighting each other. That's about as ludicrous as you can get. But, you know, when you're auditioning for like some AAA game or something a little bit more serious and grounded, there's this real urge to just go, I need to be really gritty and really... And that's boring. No one wants to hear that. The importance is just playing with it and giving directors something that they may not necessarily expect, because at the very least they then know that they can give you a steer later on. If you give people what you think they want, you will almost certainly fail, because you don't know what they want. You have an idea, so the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your integrity as an artist, for your own career, is just to play and it's just to explore as much as humanly possible. Because if you hit on something, you're going to have the best time recording that project, and you're going to have the best career as a result.
That also, I think, extends to writing as well. Like, our work is play and our play is our work now. Like, especially once we had a hold of the toys, I send you videos of like, I'll write it in a script. I think Optimus should do this. I'll just send you a video of me playing with the toy. And that's exactly what kids do when they play with their toys. They're making up stories. All we've managed to do is somehow make that our job, and we do that by just doing it because it's the only thing we know how to do. It's good fun to do it. I don't know.
And I think what I like as well, like a big thing is the idea of collaboration. Again, collaboration. It's kind of trusting each other because like ego is a big thing in acting. We know that, you know. And the fact is, if you're willing to agree with the writers and the director that they're guiding you in one direction, and that is ultimately the best for it, rather than going, oh, I thought that take was better. You know, like it's been a really easy job to kind of just flow through, which doesn't always happen with their projects. You know, it's difficult, but with this, personally, I haven't really struggled. That's all to say.
So, guys, maybe some of you have some questions for our panel. Maybe we can move into a little bit of a Q&A.
Should I take the mic to them?
Well, yeah, should we do that?
Hello? Who wants the microphone first? Okay. I'm coming. I'll be right back.
Go Micatron.
I heard that name.
Roll out.
Hello there. What's your name?
My name's Gloria.
Hi, Gloria.
Hello.
My question is actually for you. So basically, you were saying that you do several different characters, and I was wondering which character were you actually auditioning for, and how did you actually get to do so many?
Wow. It was, I feel like I'm on the spot here. I'm like, well, everyone, this is the answer. We auditioned gentlemen. We all auditioned more or less for every we were sent a casting pack of every character that was going to be in it. I auditioned for all of them apart from Alita, of course. So it was just a case of I set up my version of what I thought worked, and I imagine you guys as well.
Yeah, very similar.
And just got an email saying, say so? Yeah, we have toys characters like, just apply for them, you know, fingers crossed they work out, and then you just get an email saying, that's who we want you to be. Yeah, I just got lucky.
I think the only one that I didn't audition for was Bumblebee, because I just thought it would be too... Yeah. it didn't skew very well.
Can I hear your Alita?
Later. It wasn't good. But I almost didn't audition for the Starscream, which is kind of because I thought it wouldn't work. And then I read the script, which was great, and I thought, well, the lines are really fun, and I have to try it. And I thought, oh, that sounds quite good. Then I did it again and again and again and again and again, and then I finally submitted it. And that was the only one I booked.
See, what we almost lost out on, Shogo.
Yeah, I was going to say that's crazy because you were like, when I heard you, I was like, that guy is Starscream.
You put him straight to the top of the pile.
Yeah.
Sorry. Gloria has another question.
He remembers my name, yeah. It was just a quick one. I started doing a 5-week course in voiceover.
Okay.
And so when you were talking, in terms of being a female voiceover voice actor, do you find it intimidating? Because I feel like the majority is all guys, so...
Intimidating in the show? Working
in general as an industry. Like, as I started doing it, and I'm like, but only with a couple of girls. And
yeah,
like, it's always
that's interesting. Joe just said not just Carol. I definitely did. I certainly and actually Adrian's over there. Hi, Adrian. Adrian directed me probably in one of my first ever video games, I think. Certainly way back when. I can't hear you, but I love you. But yes, when I first started doing video games particularly, I was very, very nervous of that, being a woman in that world actually. And thankfully I've ended up voicing some amazingly awesome women characters. I think in the industry in general, there has been thankfully a massive shift for sure. To push diversity, push women in the workplace better. In terms of this show, I love it actually. It makes me feel kind of even, I don't know, more badass than I already feel. But no, everyone's lovely, so that it's a nice supportive environment. And weirdly, I don't feel like we even kind of comment on that actually. We just get on and do the job as it is, rather than sort of thinking about that. But I hope you experience it slightly differently moving forward.
Yeah,
welcome to the voiceover world.
I was about doing my shoulder.
Obviously, I work for an agency as well. The one thing I'd say, Gloria, is it's not, women are not underrepresented in voiceover at all. It is a fairly even split. It's good.
Oh, microphone to Russ, please.
Welcome back, James.
Microphone to Russ, please. Microphone to Russ.
So obviously I've had the privilege of speaking to you before, and I love the fact that you all tied in, that you've all got your own sort of G1s, obviously Armada, the Unicron trilogy, etc. And what you said is perfect, because my son, you guys are his G1. So what I want to ask you guys is, although you might have came in at different stages, what is your favourite, I suppose? Yeah, is it Armada? Is it Generation 1? What's your...
Beast Wars.
So you've got a Beast Wars.
Beast Wars. Sorry, I interrupted you. Carry on.
No, that's it. Yeah. What's your favourite continuity? Whichever word you want to use. More. What's your favourite?
Yeah, I mean, this is quite recent actually, but I loved Transformers 1. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Like I loved that. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely hope to see more. Yeah, like it's incredible. And but there's also, I loved so many different people's performances of different characters over the different generations as well. Like took a lot from Peter Spellos as Skybite and stuff, who's an amazing voice actor, rest in peace. But yeah, there's so many great iterations. But Transformers 1 is my personal favourite.
I'm also going to agree. When I auditioned for this, was sort of instructed not to, the default impulse is to think, oh, I better rewatch all the other Elitas that have been and figure it out and, get all the different voices and try and channel them and make mine. And actually was sort of told not to do any of that. So I'm also very recently now catching up on things properly. But yeah, I'm kind of in...
I'd like to register
take bits and bobs from all...
I would, yeah, this...
Rude.
Maybe it's because I'm 1,000 years old. But like, honestly, I mean, is the original, the Transformers movie in 1987 is one of the most spectacular things ever made. Like, if it's got Orson Welles in it, Unicron, Leonard Nimoy's in it, and I'm a massive Star Trek fan as well. Like, the opening scene, if we could make a cartoon like that these days, there's literally like a planet full of children gets blown up. It's terrifying. Like it's one of the most incredibly like moving things I've ever seen. Like, and I watched it again recently with my son, and it literally it's scary. It's real. It's gritty. I love it. So you get along with your Transformers 1 guy and stuff, but I'm gonna keep it real on G1.
I'll let you go first.
I mean, Joe already took my answer. Just like, yeah, the 86 movie is it for me. And on top of the brilliant casting, the outstandingly 80s soundtrack is brilliant.
Yeah, the soundtrack.
You got the touch! Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to cause a massive riot because I got into it with the first Michael Bay film.
Oh, Bay Formers, controversial.
I'm sorry, okay? I was a Power Ranger child. I was a Street Sharks child. But, listen, okay, we can all agree they're not great, okay? The first one's the best one, but I just weirdly really like Hugo Weaving as Megatron. Obviously Peter Cullen, that was my first time getting to see him as Optimus Prime, and I was like, this guy's just great. But yeah, it was Hugo Weaving as Megatron, because he's got that whole angry thing going on, and I was like, yeah, I like this guy. And so yeah, and also watching, you can get away with more visceral violence when it's against robots. Is that bit where Optimus Prime, what does he do? Is it Bone Crusher, Skull Crusher, where he fights him with the highway and the spine rip as well, that's great. He's like, grabs him in a headlock and then just shoves his sword through his neck. You see his head just roll up, his eye falls out, you're like, yeah! So yeah.
James is going to be doing a TED Talk on this later.
Yeah, violence!
Want to see if we can get one more in.
Sorry.
Hiya. I noticed you've all got British accents, so was this all made over here, and is there a particular reason for it? Normally it's American.
That's a production question.
I think that's almost a Ty question. Do you want to answer that, Ty? Ty is our executive producer, by the way.
The production happens in-house in the UK. So yeah, we have our talent that we work with ideally multiple times. So we do voice records digitally most of the time. But yeah, I mean, we're in the UK.
Great to hear.
I think that production in general is not unusual. Even with the US voice stuff, I mean, we're based in Soho. You know, there's just so much stuff. It's a cliche in the industry, but in terms of that stage of production and post-production, it is considered to be a global leader. I'm not saying it's the best, but that's what people will tell you. I think so. But yeah, I think it's very normal. I would say that it is. I can't do an American accent, which is probably why I direct, and I do think that these guys' accents are flawless. If there are any North Americans around, you watch the show, it's very impressive. But that also makes a very good voice actor, is that range of accents. Because that's one of the things, again, when we're in sessions, you might go through a range of crazy accents before you dial in the one that you actually land on, I think, which is, it's always quite emotional.
I know some of the characters when we did the audition process were British, I think, but I don't remember who actually. I swear there was at least one character who was down as a British accented character. Could have been one in Jack's, maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Moving on.
Thank you for your question. And anyone else?
Oh, it's too many people, sorry.
We're going to try and get a few more in.
Have you got any favourite lines that didn't make it into the show?
Oh, a few outtakes.
Ryan's got an answer.
Me and Ali, we love each other, but the closest I've gotten to arguing with Ali was I wrote, and I'm still trying to get, I'm going to turn into a truck now, into an episode. I made it the coolest moment it could possibly be, but we had to cut it for time. But it would, maybe spoiler alert, hopefully spoiler alert, I'm going to keep trying to get it back in.
I want that line in there as well, so much. I was only arguing about it not being in that particular episode. I really wanted it in there, so yeah.
I think the final line of episode 36.
Yeah.
Last night, then Linkin Park can start playing, you know, it's all very... get our scripts in before, so all our lines are locked, aren't they? So yeah, unfortunately, we don't really have any, do we?
I'm pretty sure I've received a locked script, and then when I got to the studio, the line wasn't there anymore. So I think there was like a double locked script afterwards, or it just got edited out, I can't really remember, but it was... I really struggled with it when I was reading through the script, because like, how do I do this and make it not sound terrible? And it was just like, do it! It's like, yeah, you're probably right to cut that one. I did enjoy it.
I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to just lie about things that you wrote in the script and just be like, well, we had to cut that, obviously.
It's making me the villain, fine, whatever.
Who's next?
At the back, Di, at the back.
Yeah. Gonna come to the back, gonna come back.
Hello.
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 This is a follow-up question from the question before last about the in-house stuff. Do you know who does the 3D at all? Is that a UK company? Or
That is Omen Studios.
animation? Is that a UK based as well?
Ty is answering.
We work with the animation studio Omens, who are Malaysia-based.
Fantastic.
They are perfect. Yeah, yeah.
That's all we have to say. No, they are genuinely really amazing. I've worked with them before. I've blown away sometimes by the way that the things look and the full renders with the perfect lighting on it. Magical sometimes. Yeah, it's really.
There was questions over here. Did you have one?
I'm gonna get him.
Hi guys.
Get him. Out of interest, was there a conscious effort to have it as a 5-minute episode as to maybe 10 or 15? Or what was the sort of thought process of having that length of an episode?
That's a great question. So the series is digital first, and generally shorter form works better for that platform. It actually affects a lot of how these guys write. It's almost a science making it for YouTube. It is, dynamic, visual. You're trying to show and not tell a lot of the time. The format was chosen across the business for being the most effective strategy. Yeah.
Business reasons.
I have this question directed to the voice actors. Obviously, you're stepping into the shoes of really iconic legacy characters. When you got the auditions in your inboxes, what was the first thing that went through your brain when you saw, oh my goodness, this is Transformers? And then also, what was your approach to these characters? Some of you have answered it anyway, but what went through your heads when you saw these iconic legacy characters?
That actually turned into a very serious question. Well, the first thing that went through my head was, and then stress, and then, because my experience with Transformers was sort of G1, I then immediately watched as many clips of it as I possibly could, and then like a good boy, I auditioned for as many things as I possibly could, and some of them were obviously crap. But yeah, it was just kind of a weird giddiness, really, and it's just like, I'm never going to get this, but I'll try. Yeah, that was it, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it was, there were characters that I knew and stuff, and I was kind of, aware of like how they sounded traditionally and stuff, but I think for me I had to make a conscious effort not to go and listen to all the characters, because I felt like I came at risk of just doing an impression of someone else's performance. Which obviously, with certain characters you want to take kind of inspiration or whatever, but yeah, I did have to make a conscious effort not to go like, okay, well this is a new show. We're not doing the same thing as we have done before, so yeah.
Yeah, similarly, I sort of spoke about it earlier, but similarly, I was sort of actively encouraged not to sort of get swayed by previous voices. And I will say, and I said it actually to Ali earlier and embarrassed him, but it really is a testament to the writing and how we work together as a team that we've created an Elita 1 that resonates with the fans. And definitely is a nod to previous Elita ones without actually me ever having fully, engulfed myself in previous versions to kind of narrow it down. It's just what I take from the script and my added jestness to it, I suppose. But yeah, when I first saw that email, I laughed and went, well, what? This is not actual Transformers. This must be some kind of something else. I don't know what.
With actual Transformers.
Actual Transformers, I know.
Normally they hide projects behind a code name. And this was just like, Transformers. You're like,
Okay, probably my bad. Anyone else?
In there, didn't we?
Huh?
Put an NDA in there.
Yeah, there was an NDA. Oh, yeah.
There was an NDA.
That was for sure an NDA. Yeah.
Hi guys, thanks for hosting.
Hello.
Again, a very quick question. I mean, I've been in the film type thing for about 30 years. What are the people in black? What are the techies? I've moved on into immersive theatre now, teching that one. I see a lot of young actors which are coming through, they're doing good roles, they're being quite disheartened. Anything that I could say just to encourage them? I'm always saying just keep at it. But it seems to be a different phase which is around at the moment, and absolutely correct. Soho is brilliant. I was over there at the mill for many years. Best outhouses.
Firstly, we love the techies. Shout out to everybody who's working hard behind the scenes and never gets any of the glory. Secondly, I would say it's a cheesy line, but this too shall pass. It will get easier, it is going to change. Things have changed an immense amount, as you're aware, working in the theatre world. It's all very different now. It's sort of which names can we get on stage to bring bums on seats sort of thing. But life does go like this. We all go through the roller coaster, don't we? And I think it will change. It is changing. We've certainly noticed it in other avenues of the industry. We're creative and we want to keep the world creative, I think. And we're not going to stop, no matter what the world tries to say.
You never know what's around the corner.
I think the contraction has happened, and I think we see that as an agency now. We've had to kind of rework a lot of what we do, but we've done it in the right way. You have to remember there's more content being made now than ever, and things like YouTube are giving an avenue for people to make stuff. Just there's more platforms to get stuff out on. I know you hear that a lot. I think that the problem is you have to remember it is a competitive industry. Even as a techie, you know that, right? Not even techies don't get there sometimes. So you have to go in with a level of pragmatism. You have to have ultimate self-belief, but you have to be pragmatic and you have to be blinkered. They're the ones that I see, the actors who blow my mind, and humility. It's like humility tempered with like unidirectional vision. And that's what's hard. Because you do one job and it's so hard to keep your ego in check if you do well. But I think I actually am an optimist. I think the worst is over. I think there was always this big AI threat. I think people have kind of wisened up to what AI really can and can't do. And I'm very much in that it's a tool camp. It's not. I think it's not as big a threat as we thought it would be. We still get a lot of downward pressure, but that will pass.
I think it's.
What advice could you give that generation?
Yeah, I would just say to keep them going. But I see a lot of that as well. It's difficult for the younger ones, new voice actors and things.
I mean, voice acting is tricky. It's like anything, but you just got to do it and not take it personally. We've said this earlier, just be pragmatic and just keep on going. And if you're good, you will get heard. Whether you win the jobs or not, but you will get signed.
I think it's worth acknowledging that it's like not a linear career either, that just because you book a job, it doesn't mean that you're just kind of going on a sort of the next thing is coming, the next thing is coming. It doesn't work like that a lot of the time. You can go through a spell of having a lot of work, and then you go through a tough spell, and that you have to get comfortable with that to be able to kind of stay in the game. And I think as well that there's there shouldn't be any kind of shame or feeling like a defeat by just going, you know what, this isn't working for me right now, and I'm going to step away for a bit, and I'm going to do something else, and I'm going to, fulfill myself creatively. This is, draining my energy, and it's making me feel negatively about doing this. So I'm going to give myself a year, and I'm going to go and do something else, and I'm going to come back, refreshed and renewed. Get some skills doing something else. Have a different job on the side to take the pressure off you. I think it's worth not putting so much pressure on yourself that you're like, if I'm not doing this, I can't pay my rent. I can't, you know, like, it's never going to be a linear career path.
I think as well it is a bit, again, I'm going back to a cheesy phrases, but it really can change overnight. And I think that is really hard when you're in that downtime and it's just awful and, you know, where's the job? Ugh. It really can turn overnight. I know people who've, you know, sent 120 self-tapes out in, you know, 3 weeks. I mean, if they're lucky enough to get 120 self-tapes. But, you know, and then suddenly they've got the call out of nowhere. So it really, really can. I think just stick with it and don't give up. So cheesy, but so true. Don't give up.
I think change begets change as well. I mean, I think a lot of people, you talk to some people just like, oh, how are you picking all these jobs? It's like, well, you know, you just do as much, you kind of spread yourself as wide as you can. I mean, like, I never thought that I'd be in an animated show. I really, really wanted to break into animation, and now I'm a transformer. That's weird. 7-year-old me is going insane. I think he'd punch me in the face if I told him that was going to happen. But, you know, you just kind of, you send those feelers out, you try as many different things as you can, and you don't tell yourself no. And I know that loads of people who get into voiceover particularly want to be like, they want to do anime, they want to do animation, they want to do video games. And that's it. And they'll try that, and they'll commit to that. And if they don't get it, then they'll stop. And that really, really sucks, because if they offer themselves the opportunity to go, oh, how about if I try audio voice or audio drama? Well, maybe I just go away from character work completely and I just do loads of like e-learning and like corporate stuff. You can still have fantastic careers doing that stuff, but you have to kind of give yourself permission to broaden yourself. Or, as Jack says, just fully step away, do something else for a bit, find out where you can sort of slot in a little bit more.
I will say one thing. I worked in music for a long time, which is even more brutal. And I remember one person saying to me, it was the best advice I ever got. If you want contemporary advice and you've just got out of college or you're just getting to act or getting into music, is someone said, if you want to be a professional musician, the first thing you should do is get a job. Like, not a music job, just a job that can sustain yourself, so you can, because then, like as you said, because the worry about having to pay your rent, pay your bills, do all that stuff, and audition, that stress, you won't be bringing out your best work. And we have regular voiceover artists who have regular jobs, and they take time out, and there's a lot more flexibility in the workplace now, and they come in and they do a job. And then what Shogo said, I think I want to echo that, is don't be precious. There's no shame in e-learning, and there's no shame in just work. Jess is the best example of that. I've worked on probably every permutation of media with her at some point.
It's work.
Agreed.
Another question?
We've got time.
Yeah, last one.
First of all, thank you so much for making a fabulous show for us all to enjoy. My question would be, is there a character that's not currently in the lineup of Cyberworld that you guys would love to see in the show?
I would love to see Beast Wars Dinobot make his way to Cyberworld for honor, for glory. Yeah, that's my answer for sure. You got one, right?
Not specific. I would any Combiner or Constructicon. I think would just change the game and flip it on his head. I think that would be very fun to do.
I want to see Hot Rod.
Yes.
Just because I want to see Hot Rod and Bumblebee kind of collide and just get in each other's way constantly. And I would like an entire season of that, actually, if possible. Just Hot Rod and just a spin-off season of them thwarting each other and just getting underneath each other's feet for 30 hours, please. Whoever's listening, thank you.
What was the Battersea Power Station Titan they made? Can we get that in there somehow? Yeah, we bring that one in.
Kind of with you on that. I guess we need to see another woman, don't we? Maybe. Don't know who else.
RC.
RC, I was thinking RC, to be honest. RC, are we here for RC? Oh, you're here to voice RC. Brilliant. There we go. Gloria's signed up, everyone.
Perfect.
I've got to make. They're all just coming down here.
There was one that I can't remember. There's two that I'd like to see Ultra Magnus because he's a flawed robot. I was going to say flawed human being, and I think that bringing that in, I like the way that we have Mirage is kind of like morally ambiguous. I like the complexity of that character. But more importantly, there was one that I can't remember if it was called Metropolis or something like that. But he was like Metroplex. Yeah. So he is like the Autobot version of Scorponok, and to watch those two go at it would be like
kaiju.
That would be you know. Fanboy heaven.
I'd like to see Ironhide. I like Ironhide.
Yeah.
That's it. Put Ironhide. There you go. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, everyone. I think we need to wrap up now.
I do agree we need more fembots though.
Fembots. The ones from Austin Powers?
Yeah, the ones from Austin Powers.
So guys, huge thanks again to the panel, of course, and huge thank you to the members of the team that couldn't be here, of course. You can watch Cyberworld right now on the official Transformers YouTube channel, new episodes dropping regularly through 2026 in multiple languages. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us. I think we've got a little sneak peek of our next episode coming out. Episode 13, Carousel Chaos.
Easy game. Module 66011.
Lita, what's happening?
Something bad.
Oh, you don't look so good, little Prime.
Neither does this program. Anyone else feeling a little heaved at the jib?
Oh, how fortunate. All the bots I need offline in one place. Even Starscream has taken a break from hiding in his empty little city.
Insolence! I control a whole region, Megatron!
Starscream, I have a game to win.
Conversion chains deactivated. Hit the button. Commence program in frequency 1.
All too So long, Prime. All too easy.
Thank you so much.
Everyone, thank you everyone so much for coming, really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a wonderful MCM, have a lovely weekend, have a happy Halloween as well. Also, just in case me, Jack and Jess are in meet and greet from 1:30, in case you are popping by. We'd love to talk to you more. Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.